students, we are going to discuss chapter 4 of class 9, that is atomic structure. It we know that what is atomic structure means structure of an atom is called its atomic structure. Before studying about atomic structure, first of all we have to know about atom. What is atom? We will discuss here. Atom is the smallest particle of an element, that is called atom. Means if we take an element like is hydrogen, there will be many hydrogen atoms. Initially it was regarded as atom is indivisible. Means we can say that initially it is observed that atom cannot divide because meaning of atom is indivisible. Meaning of atom is indivisible. Later it is observed that atom is made up of three subatomic particles. It is made up of three subatomic particles called electron, proton and neutron. These subatomic particles are regarded to form an atom. Now dear student, we will discuss the structure of an atom. Before studying the structure of an atom, first of all, different structure of an atom that was proposed by different scientists. So first of all, Dalton proposed a theory that is called Dalton atomic theory regarding structure of atom. According to them, Dalton believed that all matter are made up of atoms. Dalton believed that all matter are made up of extremely small indivisible particles. These indivisible particles are called atoms. But they did not explain atom is divisible and how it is made up of. He proposed a theory related to atomic structure that is called Dalton's atomic theory. Later due to change in the technology and research by scientists, it is observed that modified form of Dalton's atomic theory were proposed. Key points of Dalton's atomic theory was all matter is made up of a large number of extremely small particles, that is called atoms. Means matter is made up of small particles. One term come here. What is matter? As you have studied in the later classes, that what is matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass and which can be perceived by our senses is called matter. Now second point is here, all atoms are no longer indivisible but they consist of electron, protons and neutrons. Atoms are no longer indivisible but they consist of electron, proton and neutron. These are subatomic particles. About it we will know more thing is we know that atom has two parts. First part is central nucleus which contain proton and neutron. Proton is positively charged particle and neutron is neutral, and electron revolves around a nucleus. Now next point of this theory is atoms of same element. Having same mass number from same atomic number but different masses are called isotopes. Iso means same, tos means place. It is Greek word. Iso means same, tos means place. Means we can say that atom having same atomic number but different mass number lie in the same groups of periodic table. Now fourth postulate of this theory is atoms of different element have same atomic number but same atomic number, that is called but different mass numbers. These are same mass numbers, not atomic number, are called same mass numbers are called isobars. Iso means same, bars means weight. We can say that weight of atom if of different element is same but the atomic number is different. This is called isobars. Now Dear students, we discussed fifth point. This fifth point, atom is the smallest unit of matter which take part in a chemical reaction. We can take part in a chemical reaction. Now we can see that, and it may or may not exist independently. Means of this point is atom means take part in reaction like is hydrogen. Two hydrogen atom combine to form hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen atom cannot exist independently, but like is neon, argon, these are inert gaseous elements that can exist independently because these have stable electronic configuration. Now, sixth point is the molecule is the smallest unit of matter which can exist independently. Means H2O2 N2 can exist independently. The molecule is made up of one or more atoms which may be same or different. Now how we will discuss this? We will take an example like it's H2O2 H2O. These are molecules. H2 is made up of same type of atom, O2 is made up of same type of atoms of an element, but water H2O is made up of two types of atom, hydrogen and oxygen. These can exist independently. Atoms of different element combine a fixed ratio in a small whole number. This meaning of this point is means water is made up of two atoms of hydrogen having atomic mass 1 and oxygen having atomic mass 16. Now after simplifying we observe that its ratio will be 1:8. Means we can say that water molecule have ratio 1:8. Means these hydrogen combined by mass in one part, then and oxygen combined by mass in 8 part. Now 8 point of this postulate that modified postulates of modified Dalton's atomic theories, atoms can be changed by artificial transmutation. Means we can say that after applying a particular special conditions, one atom can be converted into. Now students, we will discuss next topic of this chapter, the discovery of electron cathode ray. Electron that is originated from cathode rays are constituted of electrons. For carrying out this experiment, we have taken an apparatus that is called discharge tube. This is discharge tube containing a gas. Here are two plates attached with it, that is called cathode plate, and second one is called anode plate. Cathode plate is connected to the negative terminal of battery, and positively charged plate is connected, and anode is connected to the positive pole of battery. Now we observe that this experiment, discovery of electron, or we can say that discovery of cathode rays, was done by William Crookes. For carrying out this experiment, after setting of this apparatus, high electric voltage of 5000 to 10,000 volt is applied across it, and inside the discharge tube a gas is filled at low pressure, that is this gas is filled in this tube that is filled at very low pressure, that is 0.1 millimeter of mercury. Now after applying voltage that is 5000 to 10,000 volt, we observe that from a cathode plate a fast moving electron beams are observed due to heating of cathode rays. Means we can say that when cathode gets heated, they emit a stream of negatively charged particles, that is called cathode rays, because these are made up of negatively charged particles that move from negative pole to positive poles. That's why these are called cathode rays. Cathode rays have a particular definition that we will discuss now. Means the beam of rays or extreme of particles. The beam of rays or extreme of particles which appear to emerge from cathode and travel towards anode are called anode rays. Anode rays are made up of negatively charged particles. These negatively charged particles are called electrons. A discovery of a cathode rays put the foundation of discovery of electron. Now dear students, we will discuss the important characteristics of cathode rays. First point, that is they travel in a straight lines in direction away from cathode to anode. Cathode to anode, that can be observed here. Means first characteristic of cathode rays is cathode rays travel from positive plate to negative plate. Positive plate to negative plate in direction away from the cathode rays towards the anode. Now dear students, second point is how we can they feel that they travel from cathode to anode? If we put any object in the path of cathode rays, then we observe its side. When we put any opaque object in the path of cathode ray, we will observe its side on back side. This proves that any stream of lighted particles passes from cathode to anode. Now second point, they consist of material particles. They consist of material particles. That's why if we put a padded wheel in the path of cathode ray, then padded wheel rotates on its axis. Thus we can say that cathode rays are made up of material particles that have mass and speed. Then that's why they can rotate the padded wheel. Now third point that is belong to in characteristics of cathode rays is the particles constituting cathode rays. The particles that are responsible for formation of cathode rays carry negative charge, and because they deflected towards the positive plate. These negatively charged particles are called electrons. These negatively charged particles are called electrons, which are responsible for formation of cathode rays. Now next point, that is fourth point, they are deflected by magnetic field. If magnetic field are applied on either side of this plate, we will observe that when we apply a electric or magnetic field, then we observe that cathode rays carry negative charge. Cathode rays carry negative charge, gets deflected. If we apply magnetic field or electric field around this test tube, we will observe that they get deflected away from negatively charged particles towards the positively charged particles. Now they cause heating effect. Means if we put any heat conducting material in the path of cathode ray, then it gets heated. Means we can say that cathode rays cause heating effect. They cause fluorescence in the certain substances. Certain substances. If we put a plate polished with zinc sulfide, that is fluorescent substance, means a substance that emits light after reflecting from this surface, that is called fluorescent substance. Here zinc sulfide applied on this plate and is a fluorescent substance. Now last point is mass charge and charge to mass value of electron are identical of their nature of gas used in the discharge tube. Means we can say that gas containing in the discharge tube containing discharge tube has mass similar to the electron present in the gaseous atom and gaseous atom that it has similar mass alike general electrons and charge to mass ratio remains same in this condition. Now, dear students, this point has been completed. Now, dear students, we will discuss the discovery of proton. Who discovered the proton? Is we know that Goldstein discovered the proton by carrying out same experiment like William Crookes. He also take a he carried out an experiment containing a gas in discharge tube, and it's after applying a voltage and pressure of low pressure, he observed that a ray originates from negative pole to the positive pole of positive pole to negative pole, that is called anode ridge. Anode ridge are made up of positively charged particles. That's why the constituent particle is called proton. Now we can see that mass of proton discovered by Goldstein is 1.672 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram, and it contains a positively charged, that is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. That is positive charge. Means it has mass equal to 1.72 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram and positive charge 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, but charge is positively charged. And also we should also know that after discovery of electron and proton, based on the discovery of electron and proton, Thomson proposed a model of atom. That is called Thomson model. According to Thomson model, atom is a spherical mass. That is Thomson atomic model. Thomson's model of atom is discussed. We will discuss here. That is, it contains a spherical. According to Thomson model, atom may be regarded as uniform sphere of positive charge in which negative charge are embedded. It is positive sphere. It is sphere of positively charged in which negative charge are embedded. This model is also called Christmas pudding model or watermelon model. We can watch that according to Thomson model, it is positive sphere, means it is positive sphere in which electrons are embedded in it, like a watermelon which contains seeds in the red part that is eaten by us, and seeds, black seeds are embedded in it. Seeds can be compared with the negatively charged particles, but a red part of watermelon can be compared with the positively charged particles. Now, dear student, we can say that total number of positive charge are always equal to the total number of negative charge of an atom. That's why whole atom is electrically neutral. But this model was soon rejected. Because it could not explain Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment. Rutherford's cause of rejection, that is, it could not explain Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment. Now, dear student, we will discuss alpha experiment carried out by carried out by Rutherford. Students, we will discuss the discovery of nucleus that was carried out by Rutherford's rays experiment. Now we observe that here is a lead box in experimental setup. Here is a lead box containing polonium. Lead block that contain polonium. That is alpha ray scattering atom, means we can say that it is radioactive element. And a gold foil of 10 power minus 6 centimeter thick. Gold foil that is 10 power minus 6 centimeter thick. It is gold foil that is 10 power minus 6 centimeter thick, and it is here is a slit that direct the rays, alpha rays coming outside of polonium atom. This polonium atom, that is radioactive atom, element that emits alpha particle. What is alpha particle? We will discuss here. It is the nucleus of helium containing two positively charged. Means we can say that alpha particle has two proton and two neutron in its nucleus. From radioactive source, that is polonium. We observe that which type of observation is obtained by us when alpha particle is emitted by polonium atom. Then most of particles could pass through gold foil. But very few were gets deflected back. Some alpha particles deflected slightly from their path. Some alpha particles get slightly deflected from their path. A very few alpha particle, 1 in 10,000 atoms get deflected. A large angle bounce back. Directly in their actual path. These are the observation of the alpha particle, Rutherford's alpha particle experiment. Now, gold foil consists of. We will discuss again what gold foil consists of. We know that gold foil consists of nucleus that is positively charged. Is here. When alpha particles are passed through it through gold foil, we observe that large number of alpha particles get passed through gold foil easily, but very few gets deflected at very few angles, very small angles, and out of 1 in 10,000 gets directly reflected with very large angle. Means we can say there is a large space. In the empty space in the gold atom through which alpha particle get passed easily. But in the center part of this, there is positively charged sphere. Positively charged alpha part is here. That's why alpha particle are positively charged, and nucleus is also positively charged. That's why alpha particles are deflected back. Means we can say that in center of atom there is a positively charged sphere that is called nucleus. Thus we conclude that through overall this experiment that very small space, compared to the size of nucleus is available here. Now second point, heavy positively charge are located in the center. Very dense hard rigid part is observed here. Now dear students, I hope you could learn properly your Rutherford's rays experiment. I have teach you properly through diagrammatic method. You will, after listening this video, you will read your book properly so that you can understand it. Students, after studying the alpha scattering experiment carried out by Rutherford, we will observe a proposed model of atom is proposed by Rutherford. Means that is Rutherford's model of atom. He proposed in the following point discuss the best model. The main points of Rutherford's model of an atom are: first point is atom. It is the common point in all different atomic models. First point is atom consists of a dense, heavy, positively charged central part that is called nucleus. That is called nucleus, and means if it is an atom, then central part that is nucleus. Central part that is nucleus. Here is positively charged sphere. It is positively charged sphere. Second, the size of nucleus is very small as compared to atom. Means we can say that the size of nucleus is very small as compared to the whole atom. The third point is the electrons are present at very large distance from nucleus. Means we can observe here that around nucleus electrons are located at very large distance. Means we can say that there is a large gap between nucleus and the electrons. Now next point is these are very large space between nucleus and electrons. It can be observed here, and we can also observe that total number of positively charged in the nucleus, that is discussed in fifth point. Total positive charge in the nucleus is equal to the total number of electrons revolving around negative charge revolving around the nucleus, that is electron. That's why whole atom is electrically neutral. As we know that in the next point, the electrons revolve in a circulatory path. Means in a circular path, electron revolves in a circular path, and these electrons are called planetary electrons because this can be compared like planet that revolve around the sun in a circular path. Hence, Rutherford atom is called Rutherford's model is called planetary model of atom. We will discuss, dear students, now failure of Rutherford's model of atom. Rutherford's model of atom. How Rutherford model gets failed here. First point, failure. Cause of failure of Rutherford's model. Failure of Rutherford's model, that is will discuss here. First point is it could not explain stability of atom. This is main point. It could not explain stability of atoms. Means we can say that an atom is stable or not. He could not explain. Means according to them, when electrons revolve around nucleus, then they emit energy. And at last, after some time, their energy become lost totally, and the electron will collide with nucleus and whole atom become destroyed. But it is not possible that an atom gets spoiled or destroyed. Now second postulate, that is it could not explain hydrogen element. It could not explain hydrogen spectrum. Hydrogen spectrum means we can say that what is spectrum, dear students. If we observe we can observe in white light when passed on, then forms 7 color band. This is called Vibgyor. The pure means we can say that these 7 color pattern, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, these color pattern are called white light spectrum. In the similar way, when light rays pass through the hydrogen atom, then a pattern is a color band of pattern is obtained on the screen. This is called hydrogen spectrum. Now we will discuss Bohr's model. We are going to discuss the next theory, that is Bohr's model of atom. Bohr's atomic theory, or we can say that is Bohr's model of atom. In order to explain stability of an atom, Bohr gave a Planck quantum theory. This theory is based upon quantum theory. Means we can say that Planck's quantum theory explains that energy comes in the form of packets of energy on the earth. That is called quanta or photon. Now, main postulates of this theory are: first postulate of this theory is an atom consists of dense, heavy, positively charged particles. That is called the positively charged sphere, that is called nucleus, containing proton and neutron. Proton are positively charged and neutrons are neutral. Now, second point of this theory is electrons revolve around the nucleus in a fixed circular path that is called orbit or cell. Each cell has different energy levels. Number of protons are always equal to the number of electrons. That's why whole atom is electrically neutral. And one main postulate of this theory is that there are fixed number of electrons around the nucleus of atom. In each shell it is represented by 2n square. We can calculate number of electrons present in each shell, that is K, L, M and N each cell, by putting value of n 1, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. We can find out in each cell there is different number of electrons. In K cell there is 2 electrons, in L cell there is 8 electrons, and M there is 18, and in last, that is N cell, that is 32 electrons. Now we can see that this theory is based on main fact, that is structure of atom that contain the different number of cells of an atom having variable energy levels. That we will discuss a few more points of this theory. Means we can say that last point is that when electrons get energy from outside, then they move in excited state. And after some time they move in excited state. After some time they come back to their original position after losing this energy. This is represented through this diagram. Like we can see that in L cell, electron is in L cell, then it moves in the N cell after gaining energy from this level. Now it moves into excited state, and after few seconds it comes back into this original position. Now Bohr's model has been completed. Now we will discuss atomic structure again after studying different types of theories for atomic structure. Is we know that we come on the conclusion that atom has two main parts. The central part, that is called nucleus, and second, that is electrons that revolve around the nucleus. Nucleus contain protons and neutrons. Protons are positively charged particles and neutrons are neutral. But electrons are negatively charged particles. Okay. Now discuss next topic, that is atomic number. Atomic number, we can say that atomic number, it is represented by letter Z. we can see that if we take an element, this is an element, here we represent atomic number. In the downward side that represent atomic number, and on the upper portion we represent mass number, or we can say that atomic mass. Atomic mass, it is represented by letter Z, A. And this is symbol of element. This symbol of element. Now we will discuss what is atomic number. It is the number, atomic number. It is the number of proton present in the nucleus of an atom. Nucleus of an atom is called its atomic number. As we know that atomic number is equal to number of proton. It will be always in case of ions or neutral atoms. In case of ions or neutral atom. In both cases, number of protons are equal to atomic number. But in case of ions, number of atomic number is not equal to number of electrons. Means generally in case of neutral atom, we can say that atomic number equal to number of proton equal to number of electron. In this case of neutral atom, number of protons are always equal to the number of electrons. This point will be helpful during calculating few numerical portions. Now next, mass number. It is represented by A. It is the sum of number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus of an atom. That is called mass number or atomic mass. Atomic mass, that is represented by A equal to number of proton plus number of neutrons. Since we know that in case of neutral atom, atomic number equal to electron plus neutron, we can also write, because number of protons are equal to number of electrons, or we can write it again in this way: atomic number, a mass number equal to atomic number plus number of neutron. This can be also used for calculating mass number. Here we will discuss next point: Bohr-Barry scheme of electronic configuration. Bohr-Barry scheme of electronic configuration. Bohr-Barry scheme of electronic configuration. Configuration means arrangement of the electron in various cells. That is called electronic configuration. According to which electrons are arranged in particular cells. That is called K, L, M, and etc. And number of electrons are always number of electrons in each cell. Number of electrons in each cell will be equal to 2n square, where n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 1 is represented for K cell, and 2 for L cell, and 3 for M cell, and 4 for N cell respectively. We can watch it. And after, next point is Bohr-Barry concept is that after filling, when K cell will be filled clearly, will be filled. Then L cell will fill, L cell will fill, will be filled, will be filled. Then M cell and fill in last time N cell will be filled respectively. Means sequence of filling of cell will be K, L, M or N respectively. Now balance, next topic, that is balance electron. Is we know that balance electron is the balance means remaining part. We can say that balance electron is the number of electrons present in the outermost cell of an element. Means we take an example like sodium has atomic number 11. After doing its electronic configuration, we get 281. 1 is the valence electron. Means we can say that number of electrons present in the outermost cell of an atom is called valence electrons. Now dear students, we will take next topic, that is isotopes and isobars. These are the key topics of this chapter, isotopes and isobars. After doing study of atomic number and mass numbers, we will do study of it. Isotopes means what is isotopes? Atoms of same element, having same atomic number but different mass number, atomic number are called isotopes. We can take example of isotopes that is given here. For example of isotopes, we take 3 isotopes of hydrogen. Hydrogen has 3 isotopes: 1H1 protium, 1H2 deuterium, 1H3. This is tritium. When 1H2, that is called deuterium, it is also called heavy water. Now next example of this, we can take it 6 of carbon, that is 6C12 and 6C14. These are also isotopes because these have same atomic number. Now we come on next topic, that is isobars. Isobars means atoms of different element. Isobars are atoms of different elements having same mass number but different atomic number. Different atomic number are called isobars. Atomic number are called isobars. For example, we can take it 18 argon 40 and 20 calcium 40. Both have same different mass number but with different atomic number but same mass number. Here is 40. 18 argon 40 and 20 calcium 40. Both have same mass number but different atomic number. That's why these are called isobars. And we will take next topic, that is how atoms combine because of chemical combination. That we will discuss in 5th chapter, cause of chemical combination. Cause of chemical combination is, we know that atoms in free state remains unstable. That's why to become stable, atoms involved in the formation of bond, like is H2, O2, N2, these are in molecular form, that's why these have balance. Cause of chemical combination we will discuss here to complete their octet, to complete their octet. Octet means 8 electron in their valence shell, or duplet means we can say that 2 electrons in their valence shell. To be stable means it is the criteria of stability, like the inert gases helium, argon, krypton, xenon. Now second point, why atoms combine, why involved in chemical combination, that is tendency to acquire minimum state of energy. Minimum state of energy means we can say that when atoms are in state, in case of unstable, then they have high energy. After involving in chemical combination, their energy become less. So they acquire minimum state of energy, they involve in chemical combination. Now we can say that for doing this process they do different ways, like is different bond formation, like is ionic bond formation. For doing this ionic bond, they form ionic bond, or either ionic bond, or we can say that they form covalent bond, that we will discuss in the next chapter. Now your chapter has been completed.
We are going to discuss the chapter that is atomic structure. As we know that all thing is made up of matter. Everything is made up of matter. Matter is a substance that occupies space and has mass, and which can be perceived by our senses. Means we can say that here is a big block that is made up of a small particle that is called atom. In the first stage, in 460 BC, Democritus tried to find out the composition of a matter. He said that matter is composed of atoms that cannot be further divided. Democritus was the first scientist who tried to discuss about the composition of an atom. He first of all gave the name Parmanu, which means which cannot be divided. After it, John Dalton tried to give the structure of an atom. According to them, an atom, all matter is composed of an atom which cannot be made or destroyed. Where is a copper strip which is made up of atoms. According to them, atom is indivisible. Atom cannot be divided. Here, according to them, after modification, few postulates were proposed about the Dalton's atomic theory. According to modern concept, after modification of Dalton's atomic theory, it is observed that all atoms are made up of spherical mass that is called atom. It has two parts, first central part that is nucleus, and outermost cell that is called electron. In nucleus there are proton, that is positively charged sphere, and electrons revolve around it, and there is total number of protons present in nucleus is equal to the total number of electrons present outside the nucleus. This is composition of copper atoms. All matter is composed of fission which cannot be made or destroyed. We can watch here. Is we know that different elements have different types of atoms. Like is copper has symbol Cu and oxygen has symbol O. Chemical reactions occur when atoms are rearranged. Like is copper, when comes in contact with oxygen, then formation of copper oxide will take place. Dalton's atomic theory is based on two laws. First, law of conservation of mass, and second, law of multiple proportion. According to law of conservation of mass, mass can neither be created nor destroyed, although it may be changed from one form to another form. But in case of according to law of multiple proportion, in different molecules, single atom of an element involved in different proportions. Dear student, here is some important fact dates that were asked generally in examination. In 1932, James Chadwick discovered neutron. In 1909, Robert Millikan discovered charge on an electron. Find out charge on an electron. In 1917, J. Thomson proposed give the property of cathode rays, or we can say that Thomson discovered the electron. In 1860, Eugen Goldstein discovered anode rays, and in 1879, William Crookes find out the conduction of electricity through gases. In 1830, Michael Faraday gave the electric nature of matter. In 1808, John Dalton gave the atomic theory of matter. Dear students, here is a voltaic cell where by application of high voltage generator we can watch the process of electrolytic dissociation of water. This diagram is representing the cathode ray tube. As we can watch that in cathode ray tube, it is also called vacuum tube, which contain gases at very low pressure 0.1, that is 0.1 millimeter of mercury. When high voltage about 5000 to 10,000 volt battery is applied across the terminals of this cathode ray tube, then after some time cathode plate gets heated and it release a beam of negatively charged particles, that is called cathode rays. Cathode rays moves from negative charge plate to positively charged plate. Since these carry negative charge, that's why we can say that it is made up of electrons. When beam of light passing from cathode rays moves towards the anode plate, we watch when we put a zinc sulfide coating on the right hand side, or we can say towards the anode plate, we observe that it creates a fluorescence. Here one point more can be discussed, that when the cathode rays are made up of particles having mass. These particles, when we test it by keeping a wheel, we observe that when cathode rays pass through wheel gets started rotating. This proves that cathode rays are mechanical wave. Now dear students, we will discuss about the first atomic theory proposed by John Dalton. It is called Dalton's atomic theory of atom. John Dalton was an English scientist who is well known for his work in the development of atomic theory. John Dalton proposed the atomic theory of atom. According to them, an atom is made up of positively charged sphere. Its first postulate were all matter, whether an element or compound, are made up of very small particles, that is called atoms. Atoms of given element are identical in size, mass and chemical properties. Atoms of different element differ in size, mass and chemical properties. Atoms are individual particles which can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reactions. This is also called law of conservation of mass. Next point of this theory is atoms combine together in a fixed whole number ratios to form compound, means we can see that it is law of constant proportion. In a chemical reaction, atoms only gets rearranged. Atoms of an element does not change into the atom of another element, and atom of element does not change into the atom of another element. Example of chemical reaction we can watch in by reaction of sodium hydroxide with hydrochloric acid, formation of sodium chloride and hydrogen gas will take place. Here we can watch that rearrangement of atoms will takes place only. Now dear students, we are going to discuss Thomson model. According to this model, an atom is atom is spherical in nature. Spherical in nature, like watermelon. Like in watermelon, we observe that seeds positively, negatively charged, that is, seeds are embedded in it. It can be compared with the seed pudding of can be also compared with the Christmas pudding. Is we observe that different types of dry fruits mixed in cake of Christmas pudding, we observe that act as a electron, and remaining part of cake, that is positively charged. Means we can see that electrons are embedded in the center of whole atom, in the whole atom, like seeds of watermelon. This model is also called Christmas pudding or watermelon model. According postulates of Thomson model was that atoms are spherical in shape, and the electrons are embedded in positively charged sphere, and electrons are embedded in it. Total number of positive charge ions are equal to the total number of negative charge ions. Thus, whole atom is electrically neutral. There will he could not explain about the structure of atom clearly. Now this model has been rejected. Postulates of Dalton atomic model are discussed in. An atom is positively charged sphere with electrons set within it. An atom is electrically neutral because total number of positive charge are equal to the total number of negative charge. Shortcomings of Thomson model are his incorrect assumption. Electrons embedded in positively charged sphere, but it is not clear that electrons always revolve around the nucleus. Now, positive charge in the atom holds the negatively charged electrons. Students, now we are going to discuss the Rutherford's atomic model. Before understanding the atomic models of Rutherford, we should know the alpha particle scattering experiment. As we know that in the box we can observe that it is a lead box which contains polonium atom. Through polonium atom, alpha particles get deflected and passes through slit, and after passing through slit and go past a thin gold aluminum foil that is about 0.001 millimeter thick. When alpha particle pass through this gold foil, we observe that large number of alpha particles get deflected through gold foil, and out of 1 in 10,000 gets deflected with very large angle. This shows that gold atoms are made up, gold metals or any other metal are made up of a central part that is called nucleus. Nucleus is very small is compared to the whole atom. Nucleus is positively charged. That's why after striking alpha particle to the central parts gets deflected back, and large particles of alpha passes through it without deviation. This shows that the atoms have large empty spaces. Means we can say that Rutherford's model, according to Rutherford model, atoms are arranged. Thomson model, atoms are arranged in the form of seeds, like in watermelon. It is not correct. Now we can take the following conclusions from Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment. Is we know that first point, that is most of spaces inside an atom is empty. Now second postulate is positive charge occupies a small in space inside the atom. For detecting In the process of alpha particle, we can use detector on the right hand side. When alpha particles are passes through thin gold foil that contains gold atoms, then we observe that large number of alpha particles passes directly through the gold atoms and only few gets deflected back. That can be identified to detector. This deflection is represented through the following diagrams. Then overall hypothesis of Rutherford model is there is a positively charged center in an atom called nucleus. Nearly all the mass of an atom resides in the nucleus. Second point, that is electrons revolve around the nucleus in circular path. Now third point postulates of this hypothesis is the size of nucleus is very small as compared to the size of. Now we will discuss the drawbacks of Rutherford's hypothesis. Is we know that Rutherford could not explain the stability of an atom. An atom is stable or not, it was not clearly explained by Rutherford, because according to them, when electron revolves around the nucleus, they emits energy. At last, after some time, their energy totally gets lost and they collide with the nucleus and whole atom get destroyed, but it is not possible. Friends, now we are going to discuss the Bohr's atomic model for hydrogen. According to Bohr's model of atom, it is based upon the quantum theory of radiation. What is quantum theory of radiation? Is we know that energy comes from sun in the form of packets of energy. These packets of energy or bundles of energy are quanta or photon. In the similar way, we can see that during a revolution, energy is emitted in the form of quanta. Main points of models are the electrons in an atom revolve around the nucleus only in a certain selected circular orbit. These orbits are associated with the definite energies are called energy cells or energy levels. These are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. and these are written as KLMN its cell respectively. Next postulate of Bohr's atomic model is only those orbits are permitted in which the angular momentum of electrons is whole number multiple of h upon 2 pi, where h is Planck constant, that is angular momentum of electron is represented with mvr, or we can say that equal to nh upon 2 pi, where h is Planck constant, n equal to number of cell. Here in this diagram, we can observe that a nucleus is positively charged. Around nucleus are first K, inner cell is K, second inner cell is L, and third is M. Our last one is N. Now K cell contain 2 maximum electrons and L cell contain 8 maximum electron and M cell contain 18 electrons. N contain 32 electrons. As long as the electrons remain in a particular orbit, it does not lose or gain energy. This means that energy of an electron in a particular orbit remains constant. That's why these orbits are also called stationary states. When energy from some external source is supplied to electrons, it may jump to some higher energy levels by absorbing a definite amount of energy equal to the difference in energy between the two energy levels. When the electrons jump back to the lower energy level, it radiates same amount of energy in the form of photons of radiation. Now here is a term, what is quantization of energy and Bohr's model. According to Bohr's model, energy of electron in an atom is quantized. Quantized means that a quantity cannot vary continuously to have any arbitrary value, but can change only discontinuously to have some specific value. Now the main success of Bohr's atomic model is based on the following key point. Bohr's model could explain the stability of an atom. Bohr's theory helped in calculating energy of electron in particular orbit of hydrogen. The expression is En equal to minus k square 2 pi square me square me for raised to power 4 n upon n square h square, where m small m is mass of electron, small e is charge on electron, h is Planck constant, k is Coulomb's law. On substituting the values of constant, we get En equal to minus 1312 upon n square kilojoule per mole. Bohr give an expression for the radius of an orbit in hydrogen atom or any other atom. Atomic number is the key point of this chapter. Atomic number is the number of protons present in the nucleus of an atom. This is represented here. Number of electrons are always equal to the number of protons. Valency defines the reactive capacity. Number of electron determines valency of an atom. Atomic number is represented by capital letter Z. Characteristics or properties of element. Reactivity capacity depends on number of electrons and number of depends upon number of protons, that is atomic number. What is mass number? Mass number can be defined as the total number of electron and proton present in the nucleus of an proton and neutron present in the nucleus of an atom is called its mass number or atomic mass. For example, we can take atom of an aluminium. Aluminium has atomic number 13, so it's have 13 proton and 14 and mass number 27, so its number of neutron is 14. Now we will calculate mass number by adding number of proton and neutrons, that is obtained 27. Now dear students, we are going to discuss isotopes and isobars. As we know that atomic mass that is represented on the top left of, that is in the form of superscript on the symbol of element, and now and atomic number is represented on the bottom or left side, that is called subscript. Now we can define isotopes as the atoms of same element having same atomic number with different mass number. Here we can watch that here two chlorine element chlorine has two atom, one isotope that is it's having atomic number 17 in both cases and mass number is different. This is an example of isotope. Now dear student, we will discuss isobar. Atoms of different elements with same atomic masses but different mass number are called isobars. Isobar is derived from Greek words, that two Greek words, that is iso means same and baros means weight. Here different examples of isobars has been taken. As we know that in case of sulfur that it have atomic number 16 and mass number 14, and in case of potassium it has atomic number 19 but mass number 14. Now we can see that both have same atomic number, that is atomic mass or mass number, that is 14. So these are 16 sulfur 40 and 19 potassium 40 are isobars. And in case of calcium and 17 chlorine and 18 argon, we watch that in these three cases calcium have mass number 40, chlorine has 40 and argon has 40 mass number. So we can say that these are the isobars. Now dear students, your chapter has been completed. Students, we are going to discuss worksheet number 1 of class 9, that is chapter number 4. Atom is the smallest unit of matter which take part in chemical reaction. Now second fill-up is molecule is made up of one or more atoms which may be same or different. Proton is the fundamental particles of an atom having mass number almost equal to hydrogen atom, as we have studied in the definition of proton. Cathode rays cause fluorescence. Fluorescence means होता है shining on zinc sulfide screen. Neutrons were discovered by James Chadwick. Now complete the following table. Dear student, we will study this question on the back page. Is given here. We will observe this is particle. This is particle electron. Here symbol is -1 E0. or E naught, or charge. This is representation of symbol of electron, and this is charge 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb or minus 1, and mass number is 9.101 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram, or 1 upon 1837 EMU, that is atomic mass unit. And proton, second particle is proton, its mass number, its symbol is 1H1, and proton, that is P, that is P, proton, that is P. Its charge is 1 plus 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and mass number is 1.672 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram, or 1 AMU. Neutron has symbol 0n1 or small n. Charge is 0, and mass is 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram, or 1 AMU. Now we will come on next. Dear students, our next question is, give reason for the following. An atom is electrically neutral is because total number of positive charge is equal to the total number of negatively charged. Because total number of positive charge is equal to the total number of negative charge, so an atom is electrically neutral. Now we comes on next question, that is question number 2. Most of the alpha particle passed state because there is large empty space in gold atoms or any other atoms that is used for doing experiment. Now question number 3. Very few alpha particles retrace their path because, retrace their path means comes back, because the central part of an atom is very heavy and dense, and it is positively charged particle. There is positively charged particle, that is proton, so positive charge alpha particle moves back from positive charge proton. Now this worksheet has been completed. Now students, we comes on worksheet number 2 of this chapter. Question number 1. Give one word for the following. The central heavy part of an atom containing neutrons and protons are called nucleus. The number of protons present in nucleus of an atom is called its atomic number. Total number of protons and electrons present in the nucleus of an atom, that is called mass number. It is represented by A, and in the above atomic number is represented by Z. Electrons, elements having 1, 2, 3 electrons in their outermost orbit, that is called metal. Elements having 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 electrons are known as non-metals. Fill in the blank with suitable words. First one is, an atom of an element is represented by a symbol like is Na, K, Na for sodium, K for potassium. The energy level of or energy cell are filled in order of increasing energies. First like is, first we will fill K cell, then L cell, then M cell in this manner. The electrons present in K cell and L cell are known as core electrons. Element in with atomic number 16 is sulfur. The maximum number of electrons in any cell is given by formula 2n square. Now dear students, we comes on question number 3. Here is symbol beryllium 4Be9. Mean here atomic number is 4 and mass number is 9. That is represented on the upper part, that is superscript. Protons, here is proton is equal to atomic number, so proton is 4 and number of electrons is also equal, so here is also 4, and neutrons are 5 because number of neutrons equal to mass number minus number of proton. Down, after subtracting 4 from 9 we will get 4 protons. Electronic configuration will be 2 2 because 4 electrons are here, so its electronic configuration will be 2 2. In case of boron, it's have atomic number 9 and mass number 11. Atomic number is filled with 9 and mass number with 11. Proton 9 and neutrons with 2. Electrons by 9. Because after subtracting 9 from 11 we will get 281. Now oxygen becomes on next atom, that is oxygen 8016, that is its atomic number is 8, mass number is 16. Proton is represented by 8 and neutrons are 8. electrons, that is represented by 8. Electronic configuration is 2 6. Now we comes on potassium, that is 19, atomic number and mass number 39, and number of neutrons will be atomic mass number minus number of proton. 19 is proton and neutron is 39 minus 19, we will get 20, and this electronic configuration will be 2881. And next is sulfur. Its atomic number is 16 and mass number 32. Atomic number will be 16 and mass number 32. Proton will be 16 because atomic number equal to number of proton, and number of neutrons will be mass number minus number of proton. We will get 16 after subtracting 16 from 32, and electrons will be 16. Electronic configuration 286. Now we will come on chlorine. Its atomic number is 17 and mass number is 35. Atomic number is here 17, 35, mass number, protons is 17, neutrons is 18, electrons is 17 because atomic number equal to number of proton equal to number of electrons, and its electronic configuration will be 287. In case of magnesium, its atomic number is 12 and mass number is 24, and now atomic number of proton will be also equal to atomic number, so here will be 12 protons and mass number will be 12 because after subtracting 12 from 24, that is mass number minus number of proton, we will get 12, and electrons is 12. Electronic configuration will be 282. Now comes on argon. It has atomic number 18, mass number 14. Atomic number, that is 18, mass number 40, protons is 18, neutrons is 22, electrons, that is 18, 288 is electronic configuration. Now we comes on the last one point, the lithium. Its atomic number is 3 and mass number 7, and here will be neutrons 7 minus 3 we will get 4, and electrons also will be 3, and electronic configuration will be 21. Nitride. Its atomic number, or it is not simply nitride, we can say that here will be nitrogen. So its atomic number is 7 and mass number is 14. Number of proton will be 7 because atomic number equal to number of proton and number of electrons. So a number of electrons also will be 7. We will neutrons after subtracting atomic number from mass number, we will get 7. Its electronic configuration will be 2,5. Now dear students, we comes on the last worksheet of this chapter, that is worksheet number 3. Atom, fill in the blanks. Atoms of an element having same atomic number but different mass number are known as isotopes. As we have discussed already, isotopes occupy the same position in the periodic table. Now, third fill up, that is hydrogen has 3 isotopes. Radioactive isotopes C614 is used for determining the age of fossil fuels. The atoms of different element with the same mass number but different atomic numbers are called isobars. Here we comes on table, that is hydrogen. It has number of proton here is 1 and electron is 1. Number of neutron will be 0 because after certain mass number atomic number from mass number we will get 0. Here is 1 proton and 1 electron and 1 neutron. And here in this case of tritium, atomic number of proton is 1, electron is 1, and number of electron is 2. Now in case of question number 3, we will observe here how will we identify it. In this case, the atomic, we have to identify isotopes. Atomic number of A and B, A and C is same because both have same atomic number but different mass number. These are isotopes. And in second case, atomic number of B is 90 and atomic number of this B, that having mass number 231 or here 223, have have isotopes. And D and A both have same atomic number 8, so these are also isotopes. So we can get 3 pairs of isotopes. The atoms of an element has 20 proton, 20 electron, 20 neutron. What is the atomic number? Number of proton equal to atomic number, so we will get 20. What is the mass number of element? A equal to P plus N, 20 plus 20, that is 40. Name of element calcium, that is Ca. Write the electronic configuration of element, we will get its electron 2882. Give reason for the following. Isotopes have similar chemical property because due to same number of valence electron, or we can say that same valency or same atomic number is responsible for determining the same chemical property. Isotopes occupy the same position in the periodic table because isotopes have same atomic number elements are arranged in order of an element. Because isotopes occupy the same position in periodic table, because isotopes have same atomic number and they are arranged on the basis of their atomic number in the modern periodic table. Aluminum has positive valency because it loses 3 electrons to achieve inert gas configuration. That's why we can say that aluminum has positive valency. Sulfur exhibit negative valency because sulfur is a non-metal that gains electrons to achieve inert gas configuration. Okay, now dear students, your question, this worksheet has been completed.